Welcome everyone to this month's Silk Roundtable. Our guest for today is Myra Deering-Wase, and our topic for today is caregiving. For more than 50 years, Myra Deering-Wase has dedicated her life to caring for others. Throughout her journey as a caregiver, Myra has been guided by a simple yet powerful principle: treat others the way you want to be treated. This philosophy has shaped her approach through both the rewards and challenges of caregiving, enabling her to provide not only support and assistance, but also dignity, respect, and hope to those she serves. Myra's ability to understand the unique needs of each individual has allowed her to build meaningful relationships and deliver personalized care that promotes comfort, independence, and well-being. For Myra, caregiving has never been merely a profession. It has been her calling. Her life stands as a powerful example of the impact of service, the strength of compassion, and the extraordinary difference one person can make through a lifetime devoted to caring for others. And with that being said, welcome, Myra, today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yes. So we're going to get right into our discussion for today. When you say that you are a caregiver, what does that mean to you?
To say I'm a caregiver means that where help is needed, I'm going to be there. I have always been a lover of people and a lover of family and taking care of family. I truly believe that when you become a caregiver and surround who you're giving care to with love, it makes such a great difference, not only in your life, but in their life also.
Yes, absolutely. I can attest to that. And when you talk about caregiving, when did that journey start and how? Like, when did that begin for you?
Wow. My caregiving journey started back in the 60s when my brother was born. My brother was born with what's called Prader-Willi, which is his body, the organs in his body never fully developed into adulthood. He's always had mental and physical challenges. Couldn't speak, couldn't walk. Things that doctors said could. The caregiving extension for me comes in as a teenager because my mom and dad, versus back when they had my brother, were told to put him in an institution.
Mm-hmm.
They decided not to. They said, we are going to do this no matter what. He's ours. So that's where my journey began with my brother. My parents, caregiving is a hard job, let's face it. And my parents, just like every other caregiver, would need a break every now and then. So I had to learn a lot of things in order to facilitate that care for him. And that's where the journey began. It followed with my daughter. My daughter was born with what's called moya disease, which means puff of smoke in the brain. She had 2 strokes, one at the age of 9 months and one at the age of 4. Her life expectancy wasn't long. And again, my parents set the example. So for me, there wasn't an option. I was going to give this everything I had to make sure that she could live the most comfortable and independent, self-serving life for herself, no matter what it took. We were going to accomplish that. And that's what I did.
Yes, wonderful. This is so great and inspiring. And I know you speak about institutions, and that's what independent living is about, against the institutionalization of people with disabilities. And that's what we're all for, and self-sufficiency and peer support and all those pillars. So we're going to, not to get off on discussion, but we're going to hop right into the next question. You believe that caregiving begins with love. Can you elaborate on that?
You know, it's hard to explain. Um, the love comes easy when it's a family member because you love that person and you want to help them any way you can. Even when it comes to people helping people outside, the first thing you have to walk into it with the idea of love. Because when you show them love, they're going to give it to you in return. Everybody doesn't have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get to know and learn the person, learn their likes, talk to their family, see what you can do, even sometimes just to make their day brighter. All that comes from love, loving what you do and making sure that you share that love with the person you're giving the care to.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love your explanation on love. That is so true. And you kind of spoke about this in regards to the love aspect of rewards. Can you expound on rewards of caregiving?
The rewards are great. Again, like I said, we all get tired. We all get tired at some point, and there are times when you don't think, you say to yourself, how am I going to continue? What makes it all worthwhile is the smile, the accomplishment, seeing someone say, I never thought I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
And look at what they've done. It just gives you a feeling of warmth. And it surrounds you and it surrounds them. And
Mm-hmm.
all those who are in that environment that I call the village, they see it too.
Yes, absolutely. And what are some of the challenges of caregiving, would you say?
Oh, wow. Not having enough help sometimes, not having a village to help you. Everybody needs a respite. Like I said, caregiving is not an easy job. And in order to continue to do the best job that you can, you also have to learn to take time for you. And a lot of people don't get that opportunity
Mm-hmm.
because they have no one else to depend on.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I had a village, which was a blessing. And I try to encourage people that I know now that are doing this caregiving and have no one else, but you do.
Mm-hmm.
Take a minute and breathe. Find a place. If you can't, if you can't do it 24/7, but you can find a facility that'll say, take this person in for the day or a couple of days a week. That's your opportunity to heal yourself and regenerate and rejuvenate so that you can move forward and keep doing the task that you have at hand, which is to give love and care.
Yes, absolutely. I love that you mentioned respite care and just finding alternative ways for that self-care. And that is very important to rejuvenate yourself. So thank you for sharing that. And as we know, caregivers are often unpaid family members, or they can be from a professional setting. In what roles have you been a caregiver? I know you spoke about your brother and your daughter Nicole. In what ways are they similar and different? So I guess the family caregiving versus a professional coming in.
The family caregiving, you can pretty much, you don't have, when it's structured for family, that it's not so strict. There are rules that the professional has to follow.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are a caregiver for a family member, the rules don't apply all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the big differences. And it makes it hard because I've never had the outside caregiving experience. Well, I had, not professionally, but anybody will tell you, if you call me and say, I need your help, I'm coming.
Yes.
Because that's what I want to do. And that's been my life's work at this point in my life. So the biggest difference, like I said, is being professional. They have those guidelines and those rules that they have to follow. Like, you can't take this person out here, you can't do this, or you can't do that. But with a family member, you're a little bit more freer. You can say, come on, let's go to the park today. And you all hop in the car and go. Those are some of the biggest differences I see in the doing it professionally for a company or even for yourself. You still have to have those same rules and guidelines, and it just being a family member like your mom, your dad, your sisters. You have those opportunities, and I think sometimes the professionals need to take on a little bit of that to make the journey for the person they're giving care to a lot more happier and lighter. Say, come on, let's go do this. You never know. It could make the difference between 10 days from now you dying and a year from now you dying. And again, and that's where that love comes in.
Yes.
I love what you do.
Yes, absolutely. That is so true. And as we know, there is a caregiving crisis in this country right now, due to a large part of the caregiving infrastructure, the lack of caregiving infrastructure. There's a strong societal pressure to take on your own family, which leads to burnout or being overburdened, trying to juggle those caregiving responsibilities and, with things like full-time jobs or children. So what do you, and I know you mentioned this a little bit previously, but what supports do family caregivers need besides having a village? Can you think of anything?
The village is the most important. Having somebody that you can lean on or go to, because you never know what may come up. I think that is one of the biggest things. I think that the employer who employs the professionals to go out to help them learn how to create that village, get to know the people that surround them. Because again, you as a professional may have an emergency come up.
Absolutely.
You have you got a family member in that village that you can call outside of your boss, and it's handled. A lot of these things we miss out on because we're so afraid of doing the wrong thing, and I don't know. I can't explain it. I like I said, I can only tell you how it's been for me. But I can also feel what a lot of people feel and what they're going through, especially with the giving care to family members. It's a hard job. You don't get any appreciation. You get tired. You get upset. You want to throw in the towel. That's life. I call it lifing.
Yes, absolutely.
It comes with the job.
Yes, absolutely. And, not enough recognition goes to family caregiving because it is a big sacrifice. It's living a sacrificial life for sure.
Yes.
So paid caregivers, they aren't always paid well enough. And we know that caregiving can be very expensive for people and their families paying for it. And working as a caregiver, a family caregiver, did you or do you feel valued?
I do feel valued. I feel valued from what I get back in return. I guess for me, it wasn't so much as the money. It was just to see what can be accomplished and what people, the person you're giving this care to, the joy even in their face. That is my reward.
Yeah.
That's why when you get into caregiving, that's part of what you have to accept. My reward isn't so much as the money as to what I know that I'm doing is helping somebody else maintain just the basic daily things of living. Being able to get up and wash my face and brush my teeth might need a little help, but that is what embraces me. Just to be able to help get that done.
Yes, absolutely. The things that we take for granted every single day.
Yes.
And do you have, what are your thoughts about professional caregiving? Do you feel like they should be compensated more fairly? What are your thoughts?
I do, because it's a hard job. And depending on the needs of your clients, part of that should be the rate of pay. Because sometimes the movement, the lifting, that is a job and a task. Mm-hmm. And it's hard for some people to, as a caregiver, to do that. Mm-hmm. Even the professionals, some of them can only do like help you wash up. They can't help you get out of the bed. Those people, in my opinion, should be paid at a higher rate than just a person that goes in and helps with the basic daily needs, because for me, that's fair. Mm-hmm. Because after a while, trust me, if you've been doing it as long as I have, your body will tell on you.
Yes.
And you have to listen to all those things.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on that. And most insurance doesn't cover caregiving, even though just about everyone will need caregiving at some point in their lives, especially as you age. How have you seen this dynamic affect people and families who need care?
Oh, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. And in a lot of families, sometimes you have to make a choice because you can't do that caregiving on your own, and you need some help. But now I need to pay for the caregiver, but how are we going to eat? How are we going to maintain paying the rent? Because again, it's not cheap. It's not cheap.
It's not.
So that, it's a struggle having to make those choices. And I hope and pray that at some point, as we grow older, the states will come to know that not everybody needs help, that financial help, but there are those of us who do. And if you qualify, it should be available to you to receive.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And I totally agree with what you're saying, because we're all going to age. At some point, we may acquire a disability. You just never know. So we do have to have, that infrastructure in place. And right now, currently, the statewide Independent Living Council in Michigan, MISILC, we have a call out right now for people to share their caregiving stories, to shine a light on this crucial work that has often been overlooked and without support, and it's been done behind closed doors. And we hope that these stories can help caregivers feel less isolated, educate the broader community about the reality of caregiving, and to help advocate for policies that address the caregiving crisis. What would you say to encourage somebody to submit a story on our website or to our campaign?
I would tell them that you never know who your story can bless and help. Some people, not everybody, again, struggles with the same thing. And something that I've shared may click with somebody to say, maybe I need this kind of help. Mm-hmm. That's what stories do. They lead you to places, ideas sometimes, and even just sharing it helps people. It helps people understand that no, it's not easy. Sometimes you want to cry, scream, fuss, shout, but it's what we do.
Yes.
So if I shared my story, like again, for instance, even about my daughter, if I shared her story and somebody read her story and recognized some of the things going on with the person they're giving care to, I'm putting ideas in your head where you can find the help that you need. Mm-hmm. And that's an important part of storytelling. Yes. It helps people get help that they need.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, especially with resources, community peer support, and you just never know who's connected to who. So
that's right.
I really believe it's important for us to share our stories, because there's like a common thread between all of us, that we all share something. So I thank you for sharing that with me. And our final question for today: what are your hopes for the future in terms of caregiving?
Okay. My hopes are that everyone learns that we all are going to need care, and understands that at some point in our life, as you grow older, and even when you're young,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to need care. It's going to be required in some way, shape, or form, and you have to have that understanding that it's not a job. It really isn't a job.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing something to help somebody else, and I want people to understand that giving, you're going to get back tenfold.
Yes.
And that's pretty much how I feel about, like I said, it's hard. I've been doing it for so long. Some things are just automatic. You get to a point where you don't even think, you just do, because you know it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. And I am hopeful that people who see or know someone in need, if they can reach out a helping hand, that they do.
Mm-hmm. Well, we surely do appreciate your time today and sharing your story and just allowing us into your space of, your caregiving journey, and just encouraging other people to really find that joy in caregiving into other people, and just really sharing your thoughts. And we really appreciate your time today, Myra.
Thank you so much, Jamia.
Thank you.